All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone and Will Well. Salutations to you few brothers that preach, teach, and prophesy His word in truth and sincerity. And, putting our lives on the line in these last days, bringing us raw and uncut truths. So you few brothers and sisters may see this. Shalom. Let's get into it. Grand Rapids, Michigan is known for having a lot of ticks as well. So in this one in general, let's just go into something that I kind of briefly touched last time, going into these different plagues, right? America is spiritual Egypt according to the Bible. Spiritual Sodom, Gomorrah, Egypt, spiritual Babylon. All of these places rolled up into one. So history repeating itself, right? Every second and third generation, those spirits are coming back into rotation according to the Bible. So what you see right now is the cycle similar to what we went through when we were delivered from Egypt. That hard bondage that was increasing on us, and Pharaoh's making it harder for us to live. All right. And what did he do? He started putting hell on you, Jakes. And so the Lord used Moses to deliver you. Well, this time it's going to be Yahweh Shai himself. He's coming back to deliver his elect. And this tick situation that's taking place is definitely genetically modified. Okay. And it's a lot of them. It's a whole lot of them. All right. So let's just get into the different pestilence that they have. I talked briefly about the hantavirus, how they got that pumping, and now they're working through injecting people, basically getting them sick through these ticks. And as you know, Lyme disease can also be transferred through the tick bites, by them feeding on you. So this is why it's very significant. Now they already have a jab out for it, right? How convenient. But nonetheless, let's get into it. All right.
With these mooses, and then I'll be right back. Yep. Well, this is what's happening to our moose.
Also, fair use. Fair use. Matter of fact, make this a little bit easier. Let's do this. Yeah, I got green light. I just realized. Not just realized it was green, but nonetheless. Put this over here. All right, let's get into it. Fair use, fair use.
These guys almost make it through. They almost make it, right? Look at that. Getting killed by ticks. Look at this. This moose hasn't been dead more than a day, maybe two. Laid right here and died in his bed. The little bull. He started growing back his antler. See that? On both sides. I mean, his eyes aren't even, they're starting to sink in a little bit, but it's sad. That's just a really quick video. There's tons of footage of people going outside, taking their pets to use the bathroom, their pets coming back in with minimum 100 plus ticks on their feet. Imagine what's going on. I'm gonna show you a few more videos. Watch this video. This video, the audio got cut. So I'm gonna do the video, but I'm gonna be speaking over it. Watch this. So this is a young lady who was just taking a walk in Africa, and she's introducing us to pepper ticks. So if you think we got it bad in the US, watch what this lady picks up with this little blade of grass. Look at these little ticks. And imagine they are lab made and they're infused with lime, all types of alpha-gal, anything that makes us allergic to beef. Because at the end of the day, this is a depopulation agenda. And I'm not trying to sound all sci-fi, but look at this shit. And I told y'all on April the 7th when I posted about this, they're going to start implementing a Lyme vaccine that is 10 times worse than the tick bite. Look at these little things. Look at them. They're called pepper ticks. Yeah. So I'm here to tell y'all, we got to be hella careful. We got to be hella careful because now is not the time to be walking around, being free, talking about I'm finna go lay in the grass, I'm finna be grounding outside. This is why it's important to get some grounding, like technology on your body. And this is why I sell ionized jewelry. So you ain't got to be walking in the grass no more because it ain't safe like it used to be. Watch this lady talking about this nurse who's also a Lyme specialist, talking about how they're going to implement the Lyme vaccine, and the vaccine is not good for you. Watch this.
If you've seen the Lyme disease vaccine that they're rolling out next year, as well as the talk of tick season being massive this year, here's the facts that you need to know. So I am a Lyme specialist and also someone who's overcome Lyme disease. So this new vaccine actually isn't new at all. It's the exact same Lyme vaccine that they rolled out in 1998. That later was pulled due to the massive adverse effects as well as the lawsuits that ensued. The science is nothing new. It's targeting the same protein in the body. It really doesn't work. It doesn't do much for people except for cause really bad side effects. The reason why I think they're doing this is because there's a bottom line of about $225 million that they have to reach. So science doesn't really matter when you have the bottom line to reach. So if you're concerned about this tick season and getting Lyme disease, there's so many other things that you could do that has nothing to do with the vaccine, which I'll post more about. Do not get this vaccine.
All right, now let me give you some facts. I had to put my glasses on. Enough talking about problems. Let's talk about solutions. So in 1998, there was a Lyme vaccine called Lymerix. It was later withdrawn from the market in the early 2000s. The reason included low public demand, ongoing safety concerns being debated, and legal pressure and controversy. There was concern and controversy, not clear, universally agreed, failure of the science. They said failure of science. A new Lyme vaccine is currently being developed, not identical, but based on similar concepts of targeting the bacteria behind Lyme disease. It's still going through clinical trials and regulatory review. It is not fully rolled out yet, but in 2027 they're going to roll it out. They're getting case studies now because that's why they're dropping ticks everywhere. This is literally the facts. It's not being forced overnight, but it's still being studied and still being literally propaganda, so they're putting it all out there. You understand? Like any medical treatment, vaccines come with benefits and risks, and it is on you to be informed. So this is why we are actually informing. Not everyone would choose the same path, and that is perfectly okay. But what I wanted to tell you guys about is more natural, practical defense strategy. Avoid the bite altogether. Cover skin in wooded or high grass areas. Cover your skin. Use repellents, natural or conventional, does not matter. Full body check out the big outdoors. Make sure you do a full body check out the big outdoors. Early awareness. Watch out for fatigue and joint pain and fever, because these are three things that pop off when you literally been bit by a tick and now that tick has infected you with something. Fatigue, joint pain, and fever. Catch the symptoms early. That's the biggest advantage. Your immune system support. You need to be into whole foods. You need to be hydrated. You need to get some herbs often discussed as natural circles like cat claws, Japanese nutweed, garlic. You need to be on that turmeric. Everybody should be on turmeric. These are facts right now. These support the body. They are not replacements for medical care, but they're for sure home remedies. We all know that home remedies are a little bit better than medical care. But I'm going to say, don't get that vaccine. It doesn't work. And I'm also going to say they have a bottom line. And whenever there's a bottom line, like quotas.
All right. So that's the point in that video. Shout out to this brother for bringing out that information. But nonetheless, man, same shit. All right. Same tactics that they use. It's the same devil that we dealing with. All right, it's not some new devil. This 2.0 devil. He's just doing the same germ biochemical warfare that he done even against the natives with smallpox. All right, this is nothing new, but the way that they are applying it is quite different with the flea, with the ticks, and large amount. But I digress. Let's keep going.
I've seen the video.
We have found 8 of these crawling around our carpet, just literally floating around in here, and now I'm on my hands and knees like a crackhead looking for them. I don't understand. I've never seen something like that before in my life. Now, I didn't take a video of the amount of ticks we had in that little wipe because I was flushing them. I was kind of panicking. My kids were around. I got a freaking 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. But it was insane. Like, we were on our hands and knees, just kept looking. Another one. DJ Khaled up in this place with the freaking ticks, bro. I've lived out here for 7 years, never seen this crap before. And all this stuff's going on, but Bill Gates and the dang ticks and all the boxes being found, it's real. As far as I'm concerned, this is real. We have found 8 of these crawling around.
Come on now. Let's go. This is Psalm 64. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So, the secret counsel, when they take these secret counsels, what do you think they do? To conspire on new ways, new technologies, new devices, these evil plans that they can bring forth to depopulate the earth, starting with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's always been their goal. And at the same time, they simultaneously use you as work slaves, workhorses, to accomplish their agendas as well. Now that they are in a certain space where they have this technology, they're proud to believe that they're ready to go forward with this agenda. And this is why you see all of these things happening so frequently, because it's the last of days, truly. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, like the Illuminati, right? From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrow, even bitter words. All right? And that's what they do. So that's also the secret weapon, okay? That, what's his name? William Cooper, I believe, was talking about in Behold a Pale Horse. The silent weapon, aka the secret weapon, where it's fire, but you don't hear a sound, and you feel that you're taking damage, but you don't physically see any of the damages on your body. These are those secret weapons. And people aren't aware. They just get sick, dying. You see how they use, what I'm saying, the whole situation with the CV-19 or what have you. It's the same situation, right? Same thing. It says, they encourage themselves in the evil matter, then commune on laying snares privily, snares as traps. They say, who shall see them? And that's their mind state. Esau is a proud devil because he think it's not going to be get back from the Most High. When in all actuality, the Most High is not going to play these games with them. Let's keep going.
I've seen the videos of the dead. Pardon my ignorance. What is the disease you described? The other one, rickettsia.
So it's a rickettsia. It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time, and they tried to stuff it in ticks. So what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, working on weaponizing fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, stuffing fleas with the plague, stuffing mosquitoes with deadly Trinidad virus, and then stuffing ticks with either deadly or incapacitating diseases like relapsing fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, rabies, leptospirosis, which is another spirochete. So it's just like Dr. Strangelove trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke. You drop these insects on an enemy, it weakens the population, it ties up the medical resources, but doesn't destroy infrastructure like a nuclear bomb would. And in one report from a bean counter in the military, they said tularemia, which is tick-borne tularemia, also rabbit fever, we can kill 10,000 people at $1.33 a life. So anyways, it was just, there was more to tick-borne diseases than we realized, and I began suspecting that Willie was right, given this context.
It's hard to digest all of this. It's just so evil. It's hard to believe it could happen in the United States. But I think you're right that it did, and maybe still happening. Pardon my ignorance. What is the disease you described?
Yeah, Tucker Carlson was on it because, you know, what you have is a lot of these doctors and these, even though they're Edomites, they're coming forward because this isn't just some controlled experiment used against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives. It's happening on, they're using it on Edomites and every, you know, the so-called white people, Arabs, you know what I'm saying, Indian, from India, the East Indian, I should say, and what have you. So this is something that's affecting everybody, but you know they always drop, you know, more than the necessary amount in these so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Jake neighborhoods, you know. But this is the weapons that they utilize. Okay? This is the devil that we know.
They want to discredit you for. Pardon my ignorance. We've all seen the videos of the dead moose popping up all over in Canada, absolutely covered in thousands of ticks, and that's why they're dying. But now in Australia, these pythons and other snakes are dying because they are also covered in ticks. For the first time in history, people have never seen this before, guys. Make no mistake, it is no coincidence that we're having this massive tick outbreak just right before these big pharma companies are coming out with a new Lyme disease vaccine. This is exactly how these psychopaths operate. Engineer the problem and then come up with a solution, which in my humble opinion is just poison, by the way. Just a crazy conspiracy theorist opinion, guys. This is your friendly reminder that one chicken will actually eat an average of 81 ticks every 30 to 60 minutes. And it's no wonder why they're trying to regulate people from having chickens now. Look this up. They're actually trying to stop people from having chickens. It's no wonder, guys. So this is the solution that consciousness comes up with. I'm telling you guys right now that this world is run by psychopath pedophiles who literally poison everything. They poison our air, our food, and our water. And they try to keep us in a low state of vibration. This is why it's never more important to take our physical health back, guys. This is why I take chalks daily every single day, clinically studied to boost free and total testosterone.
So yeah, you got that. I mean, they have it set up to where they actually have chickens that can solve a lot of those issues, man. And yes, I have friends that have chickens, but you see that, man. You know, they're trying to make it harder and harder for people to be able to own these chickens. Why? Well, that's one of the reasons, not just as a your own clean food source, but they serve multiple purposes. And this is being one of them. They eat the ticks, right? Yet, what can we say? They're getting rid of that. They're doing something about that. Putting all these laws and regulations. Trust me, they're already there. The only thing that they're doing right now is basically taking what they have set aside, right? These laws that they came up with, and they're waiting to implement them fully because they passed them in Congress. But what they're doing is fighting this secret war and waiting, basically until all their ducks, are in a row so they can solidify the different laws and enforce them. Like, I forgot the name of it, in California, but it's basically a law that's been passed years ago banning the Bible. So it's already there. They already passed it, yet they haven't enacted it so far as enforcing it. Right? So when they go to do these things, people are also doing bullshit one day. And they're going to be like, well, we have these laws. See, you wasn't paying attention. So therefore, that's your ass. It is grass. You know what I'm saying? But the Heavenly Father has put the men out there so we can inform those of the wise, right?
All seen the videos of
and with this dude and this lady.
Pardon my ignorance, what is the disease you described, the other one? Ricketts?
So this also goes towards that. All right. Like it says, because they encourage themselves in an evil manner, right? It says they search out iniquity and accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them is and the heart is deep. Right, because all these devils feel that way. They want to keep America going. They want to stay in power. You know, they believe that they're not going to be punished for the things that they're done and that they're doing. Excuse me, and and what they intend to do. You know, the Heavenly Father has all of this laid out by prophecy, right? But it says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, and they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and that's part of it right there. You know, their tongue is falling upon themselves. You got other Edomites reporting on them, you know, and bringing out, like that lady, she was part of their program, or she had first front row tickets to deliver that type of information. So, you know, the reality of the situation is Esau's own people that and part of their programs in them high places have been telling on them, right? Because they see the ultimate picture and they know people, including their family, are going to be affected, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So they turn into whistleblowers, man. You know, it says, Psalm 64:9, all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, and they shall wisely consider of their doings. Right, because now these things are happening and a lot of people are afraid. And really, you got to start acknowledging the amount of death that's going to be going forward. A lot of people that's done is going to be on a scale where you have to acknowledge the Most High and His Son. You have to. There's no way around it. It's going to be God tier events. People dead over here, and 60 and 60 and 100 over here. Look, it's about to happen. Okay, and the Most High is going to make sure you acknowledge Him. All the men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High and shall wisely consider of His doings. Yeah, they're going to start being like, man, it's got to be an act of God. You know, they're going to acknowledge the Most High. That's what He wants. It says the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in Him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Okay, so the only ones that are going to be in good condition, as it continuously points out, is His elect. So you got a lot of cats that are just believing in just in case, and that's just the equivalent of not believing at all. All right. But nonetheless, like I said, in the ancient world, we went through this, and this is just the Most High putting these same spirits through the rinse. Exodus 5:3, and they said, the Most High of the Hebrews has met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days journey into the desert, because this is Moses talking to Pharaoh. Moses and Aaron talking to Pharaoh, and sacrifice unto Yahweh our God, lest He fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. All right, so he's asked, hey, let us go into the wilderness, lest the Most High start punishing us because we're not doing our law, statutes, and commandments. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get ye unto your borders? And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick. So therefore let them go and gather straw for themselves. And what are we doing now? It's harder to find a job, right? They're turning out that game and they're telling you to get a job, and the wages of everything is increasing. So you got more and more people losing their dwelling places, their cars, because they can't pay the tabs, man. It says, and the tale of the bricks which they did make hereunto, ye shall lay upon them, and shall not diminish aught therefore, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Saying, oh, these niggas is lazy, or they got some time on their hands and shit. Make it hard for them to make this goddamn bricks, man. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and least then regard vain words. And so what are they doing? They're making you work harder, especially in these work weeks. You got some cats that's working 6 days a week like it's nothing, making the bare minimum. Some cats working 7 just to maintain what they have and still struggling, right? And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Moses, and say unto him, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. And I will at this time send of my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. So it's about, man, the Most High is flexing right now. He's making sure that you understand who's doing this. This ain't just some random shit. You could count it off here and there all through these years and be like, oh, that was just, some random event. But now he's making sure you acknowledge, put some respect on his name. Now, this is the day that we are coming into. This is what this is all about. All right? You're going to put some respect on the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, calling them Jesus, Yahweh and Yahshua and all of this shit. Christ. Yo, man, damn that. Most High got a problem with that. His son has a problem with that. And they're about to show you, because their patience is going out the window. It says, for now I will stretch out my hand, and that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And there's a plague of frogs, if I'm not mistaken, of fleas and these different bugs, man. Flies, plague of flies, plague of locusts. Okay. And I remember, they had a real bad locust problem a couple years back. All right. All of this stuff is coming back around, but this is going to be to a degree that hasn't been seen since the biblical era. It says, Exodus 9:16, and in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do as these commandments. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So the Heavenly Father, that's why he brought those plagues upon Egypt then, and he's doing it now in present day Sodom and Egypt. It's not talking of, I ain't talking about the real Egypt. I'm talking about the place where the Hebrews are to this day, the Hebrew Israelites, which is mostly concentrated in the United States of America. Leviticus 26:14. But if you will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, and if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I'll also do this unto you, and I will even appoint over you terror and consumption and burning, right? And I shall ague, and that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of the heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it up. I mean, and these verses, these curses in Deuteronomy 26, in Leviticus 26, you got to comprehend that this falls into place with a lot of the things that 2/3 of our people are doing to this very day. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives are not held exempt from this. The Most High is really getting at y'all. Let's see. It's Numbers. This is Numbers 14 and 11. And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed amongst them. The Heavenly Father showed us some amazing things. He used Moses and Aaron as a catalyst to show you some amazing things. He even followed us in the wilderness 40 years to get rid of those that fell away from the Lord in the wilderness of sin. And in a chariot, a so-called Independence Day size, so-called UFO, pillar of fire by day, a cloud by day, and a pillar of fire by night. Hover, flying, keeping them safe, because without it, we would have all died in the wilderness, man. And these niggas still, with they punk asses, 2/3 of our people still murmured and talk shit, even though you saw these amazing things. It just pisses me off even thinking about it. It says, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto Yahweh, then the Egyptians, these Americans, shall bear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of the land, and they have, for they have heard that Yahweh aren't among this people, and thou, Yahweh, are seen face to face, and that thy cloud, and that thy cloud standeth over them, right? That cloud translates into chariot, Mirkab, all right, or so-called UFO, and that thou goest before them by daytime in a pillar of a cloud and in a pillar of fire by night, chariot of the Lord, man. So Moses played with Yahweh, and he was like, all right, but I'm gonna go through this, I'm gonna make them, all right, you right, but you know what, I'm gonna have them, from 19 on up or 20 on up, I'm gonna put them to death, since they want to murmur and talk shit against me. And the one and only Jacob and Caleb out of that era made it into the promised land. Not even Moses and Aaron did. Okay? The Most High wasn't playing. He still isn't. Okay? But the realization of what was taking place and what's taking place now, I mean, it's just a reflection of what happened then. Okay? So this pestilence is spreading. All right, pay close attention. So as it says, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, at least Satan shall get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, his evil plans, and the people that he worked through the most, which is Esau, Edom. All right. The reality is kicking in because things are going to only get worse. Okay. So recognize it, get yourself in order, get your household in order, because this is the last go around. And if you don't get it right this time, you will be destroyed. So with that, I'm gonna just make a quick pray y'all edify. All right, it's a lot going on. I said, take care of your household, get yourselves in order. This pestilence is coming. Seek the Lord while he may be found. So with that, I pray you will edify. Until the next time, I bid you shalom.